Hi everyone, Dave here. I finally was able to get the GoPro on. It's 2:30 on Tuesday. It rained all day on Monday, most of the day today, and it looks like we finally have some decent weather. We are in Virginia on the Lexington Turnpike, and you might be able to hear the GPS talking to me. I'm going to flip it over so it talks in my helmet. So we're having a good old time here. I wanted to capture some of this. We've had an eventful couple of days, day and a half. It's been fun, it really has. But I'm gonna make a confession that some of you who know me are going to be shocked. I'm about tired of the twisties, and I'll tell you why. They're fun right now for the most part, but yesterday was so full of anxiety because of the roads. I have no idea what they're doing, but that looked interesting. They're unknown roads to me, and they were wet. And I had good grip from the tires. I didn't slip at all. Didn't feel a thing. But still, you're just not sure because you might hit that one little spot that might get your attention in the wrong way. So it was a little unsettling, and because the anxiety level was up a little bit, I'm a little sore because I think I was manhandling the grips quite a bit, and that's something that I do teach students is, don't put a death grip on them. Well, I think my grip was just a little tighter yesterday, as much as I wanted to try and keep relaxed. So this is the first stretch that Clay and I have not been wearing rain gear, and I think it's going to be nice from here. Now where we are is, we've just left Lexington, Virginia, I don't know, 20 minutes ago or so, and we are on our way to Appomattox Court House. Actually, it's just Appomattox, Virginia, but we're going to take a quick peek at the courthouse, which I understand is probably, the size of a very, very, very tiny house. I heard it's not very big, but it's still got historical significance, and I figure if we're going through there, might as well get a quick picture. So we left yesterday, went down to Middlefield, and went over to Mary Yoder's. Gotta have breakfast. Oh, amazing breakfast. So we left there about 11 o'clock or so. I turned on the Reaver app so it would start tracking everything, and from that point on, and I think it said we left somewhere like 11:15 or something. I don't know, it's all documented. So we made it all the way down to Elkins, West Virginia. Clay and Melissa used to live there, and Clay hooked up with a guy that he's friends with there, and we went out to dinner, had Mexican, sat around and talked for a while, and then Clay and I went up to the hotel room, and I passed out after checking some work emails after I was admonished, it's my vacation, don't do that. You know how that goes. I don't listen well. So pretty much at every break stop, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, I'm checking work emails to see if there's anything of significance that needs to be checked out. So I just don't want any surprises when I get back, that's all. So we left Elkins this morning, got breakfast about 7:30, and we've been going along. We had lunch in Lexington. I think we traveled just under 200 miles, but understand, we could be churning out a lot of miles, but the entire trip has been programmed for roads like this. 2-lane roads, back roads, nothing on a freeway, very little freeway for the most part. Want to see the things that nobody would ever come down this road to do, except maybe what we're doing. So it's really, really nice, and it's been fun, especially when it's dry. So now, not having the rain gear on, I am wearing jeans with Bond Armor underneath the jeans, and I'm wearing my Bond Armor shirt with a wicking shirt underneath it, and it's 85 degrees according to the bike. This is the warmest it's been the last 2 days, and right now, as long as we're moving, I feel comfortable. If we come to a stop, I'm sure start to get overheated, so just trying to be aware of all of that. So right now it's called the Lexington Turnpike. It looks like we're, and I can't tell from this GPS at all, but I believe we're probably 65 miles from Appomattox. Could be wrong. I'm not sure how to read this stupid thing sometimes, but it's keeping me on track, and that's what's important. I'm listening to Sirius XM in the helmet. I turned it back on for the motorcycle, turned it off on the Mustang. I'm on the motorcycle way more than I'm in the Mustang, so might as well turn on the Sirius XM so I have a little bit of variety, because you're not going to get a cell signal in all of the federal parks that we've been going through. I don't remember all the names. I do remember George Washington Park. We went through several so far. We passed the Blue Ridge Parkway. We're not actually riding any bit of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So, so far it's been great. I can't complain. The goal is to get within 100 miles of Kitty Hawk and spend the night somewhere on the fringes, so that we're not actually at Kitty Hawk, because I'm sure it'll be expensive and full of tourists. So we can make up 100 miles in the morning easily after breakfast, and then spend the day at Kitty Hawk and look around at the museum and the sand dunes and all that fun stuff. I've never been to the Outer Banks, so it'll be all brand new to me. Maybe we're finally going to get on some twisties again here. Maybe. We'll see. We had some really good ones before I turned the GoPro on. I've tried a couple of times to think about doing it, and was hesitant because it looked like rain and then it would start spitting. Didn't want to get the GoPro wet, because with the setup that I have, I can't, it's not guaranteed to be waterproof or even water resistant, so water can get into the electronics. So unfortunately with my setup, I have to do it when it's not raining. Let's see, what else is exciting? Not a whole lot, just the whole trip in general. So I'm going to leave this on for a bit and record some of this, with the intent that maybe I'll take a snippet and put it up on Facebook, just to tease people and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And everywhere that I'm going on the trip this year, I've never been. So it's all brand new to me, and I'm excited about that. Last year, I kind of knew most of the roads, or some of the roads, and it was a reminder to me for some things, like the Tail of the Dragon, new roads like Claw of the Dragon and Back of the Dragon. This year, it is all brand new, and it's all foreign to me. So I've been posting updates on Facebook so people can keep track of where we're at and how our progress is. We're not going to chunk out a lot of miles. Certainly not. That's not the intent. It's the enjoyment of riding. As I see this gas station up here, it's $4.19 for regular. We stopped at a gas station. We were both kind of needing gas. We weren't completely out, but we were probably within 70 miles of being empty. So we pulled over and they had non-ethanol gas, and I thought, oh, this is cool, at 5.059, or was it 5.099? Oy. Thank goodness this thing doesn't take a lot of gas. And as it stands right now, the GPS, or the bike, is reporting 51.9 miles to the gallon on average since I fueled up at Circle K near my house. So this thing is doing incredibly well. I like that it's getting a whole lot of good mileage here. It's going to up my average for the life, which is nice. So I also have to make another confession. This GPS sometimes gets a little bit wonky and gets a little confusing. So there was one road where it said make a right and then immediately make a left. So I did. Made the right and I immediately made a left on this little, not a dirt road. It was paved, but it was a single lane paved road. And I realized pretty quickly that this is not the right road. So I went up the road a bit trying to find somewhere to turn around, and it was feeling like this thing's going to turn to dirt real quick if I don't get turned around. So I tried to make a turnaround, and I was in a portion off of the road, and the bike got hung up a little bit and the bike fell over with me on it. Now I stood up, but that marks the first time that I have dumped the bike. I was not moving, just couldn't hold it up with the angle that it was. So I didn't bend anything, I didn't break anything, but my highway board on the left hand side got moved. So tonight at the hotel I'll get some Allens out of my toolkit and I'll tighten it back up, put it in the right position, because I really like the highway boards. I can stretch my legs out, keep my knees from hurting, because the knees do start to hurt a little bit when you're staying in a sitting position with bent knees like you would be on a motorcycle. So I do like to stretch my legs out and at least give a different position for a little bit. I'm not using the backrest. It's in the trunk right now because I have my Kemimoto waterproof luggage on the back seat, and so I'm kind of leaning on that, and I feel like I'm in a Harley position where I'm leaned back quite a bit than I normally would be. But that's okay, I'm getting used to that. It's not so bad. Every once in a while I have to remember, oh, I'm really lean back, I need to sit straighter up. And then the final tidbit, well, it won't be the final, but as I was getting things packed up, I realized that I broke the mount that goes for my moto mount on the helmet to hold the GoPro. So I had to cobble together a couple of different arms, I guess you call them, so that I could get something that would work. So I'm not sure on the position of the GoPro. It's a little bit different. It's a little more forward away from the helmet. I can actually see the top of the camera, which is good. I can't see the view screen to see what's going on. So Clay and I stopped and we took a second when I was hooking it up to see how it would look in this sitting position with the way that I have it set up, and I believe this is pretty good. Clay said it looks pretty good and it gives a good angle, so this might be the ticket. It might be something that will work. So I'm really hoping that the footage comes out. So like I said, my intent is to run this for a little while and just show you some roads in Virginia. Wasn't all that excited about videoing a lot of twisties because that was last year. Twisties was the name of the vacation last year. This year, just by the nature of the mountains and everything, we've run into a lot of different twisties. Oh goody, look what we have here, a roundabout. How fun is this going to be? Alright, so let's see how this goes. Looks like this is going to be just fine. We must be in Amherst, Virginia. I'm going to take a guess. So I'll scan around a little bit and just get a scan of different things. I saw my first white and blue fire engine today in Elkins, and I thought that was the coolest looking thing. I've never seen one. It was white and powder blue. It was different. I've just never seen one like that. Thank you very much for staying right where you are. Appreciate that. Let's see, what kind of animals have I seen? I've seen 4 deer and 1 black bear. The bear was in the road and I saw it up ahead several hundred yards, and then I saw it trotting off across the road and never saw it again. I had to tell Clay, hey, did you see that? One of the deer that we saw was on the right hand side of the road, and it was up elevated a bit and it was hidden. Got by it, right on it, and it was literally right next to me to my right. And I got on the intercom and I said, Clay, was that a deer? And he goes, yeah, I couldn't believe that, it was hidden. I said, yeah, neither of us saw it. So 3 of the deer did get in the road in front of me, and they're not like Ohio deer. They hear a motorcycle or something coming, they run. Ohio deer are stupid. They just stay there and look at you. One of the challenges that we've been running into is on all of the hills, the trucks going up are going slow, but when they come down, oh, they're coming like a bat out of hell. And some of them, a lot of them that we're seeing are lumber trucks. And I told Clay, I said, boy, if one of those suckers loses control, he's dead. I mean, they're just going so fast, especially when they're going down, and it's probably to get momentum to go back up. And I don't understand the whole thing about it, but I'm pretty sure that's what they end up doing. So I don't know what this truck's doing that he's using his brakes. But looks like we're at the mercy of this truck in front of us. I don't know if you can see Clay in the mirror, but he's back there. And now the bike says it's 89 degrees. Can I say yeehaw? I think, as I said, as long as we're moving, there's air flowing. Well, I apologize if it's going to be like this for several miles. This is going to suck. Nobody wants to read the back of this semi truck for the next 10 minutes. This isn't exactly the view that I wanted to get on the GoPro.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe now we're going downhill. Maybe he'll speed up.
I don't count on it.
No, he's got his brakes on. And we're going uphill again. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to cut this thing off. There's no sense in recording this. So I will turn it back on as soon as I'm clear of this semi truck. We'll see you in a few. Well, we're back. We're now on Virginia 26 on our way to Appomattox. We're about 13 miles away from Appomattox in the courthouse. So I figured I would turn it back on and no more truck. And we should have it pretty good from here on out with nothing in front of us. We stopped to get some Gatorade, get hydrated up. It got warm when the sun came through. It's up to 91 degrees. It just dropped down to 90. It does feel comfortable when we're moving. As soon as you stop, obviously the gear gets warm. So this will be helpful. So I figure I'm going to leave this on until we get to Appomattox, and you can at least see us get into Appomattox, and I'll be taking some still pictures once we get there. So it should be really nice to see that, get a couple of pictures of a very historical place, and move on, head towards Kitty Hawk. I also turned it back on because I thought this road might have some twisties on it, but it's not looking that way. At least there's shade. Oh my goodness, does this feel great. Okay, temperature went back down to 88. It seems like in the direct sunlight is when it gets really warm. Obviously. After spending 2 weekends in a row, or was it 3, on the pavement at Lakeside High School. What do I do for fun? Hang out on the pavement. That's alright. I wouldn't change a thing. This is my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. Exploring by motorcycle. For me, it doesn't get any better than this. And nothing wrong with me being quiet too, so that you can enjoy it. 10 miles. Looks like a very typical rural residential area. A nice road, typical of the roads that we've been on the last couple of days. Haven't really seen any bad roads. I mean, there's some that are in the process of getting fixed. So we've been on the brand new stuff and we've been on the stuff that hasn't been fixed yet. I guess there are some twisties here. A few. Well, that looks interesting. Road to the right and a crossroad. Quickly. Okay. I don't know what those are with the red on them. That's kind of interesting. Museum of the Confederacy. Didn't think that would be in the same location, but okay. Last year on roads like this, we came across the salt capital of the Confederacy. Didn't get a chance to get a picture of the sign. That would have been impressive. Gee, you're going 55. How fast do you want us to go? According to my trip meter, Clay and I have gone, well, I have gone 520.7 miles. Clay would be a little bit less than that, probably closer to 500. So I set the trip meter when I got fuel before I left. I left the house and went and got fuel and reset everything and just kind of keeping it that way to see what we get. I expect that I'm going to get quite a bit of footage tomorrow at Kitty Hawk, whether it's on the bike or just using the GoPro as a handheld. Moo. I'm thinking that on a Tuesday there's not going to be a whole lot of people visiting a tourist attraction, but hey, I could be wrong. And at 3:30 in the afternoon, just have to wonder what kind of hours it has. It is a national landmark, a national place, as opposed to just a local. So maybe it will have some different hours. Didn't really look, doesn't matter. Even if we only get a picture of the outside of the building, that's fine too. We're not going to linger long. Not a big tourist trip. It's more about just going to see a few things at some places and move on. Not hanging out at any one place for too long. Although when we get to Huntsville, Alabama, that all may change. Actually, I think we're going to spend a little bit of time at Kitty Hawk tomorrow. The beauty of being on vacation is that there's no clock except the end goal to get back in time to go back to work. Ugh. Farm equipment, all kinds of stuff. I know I've been to parts of Virginia before, just never this part. It was more along the coast as you get around Washington, D.C. and all that nightmare stuff, because it's just so chaotic. The people who live there, the tourists, the people that want to see our government places. It's pretty crazy. I'd still like to go back though. I'd like to see more of the Smithsonian. I could spend 3 days with the Air and Space Museum. It is so funny because I'm listening to Pink Floyd in the headset. Dark Side of the Moon. It's pretty entertaining. Just the thoughts going in my head and thinking about Washington. I'll leave it at that. Well, we're within a few miles. I do apologize if there's a lot of wind. I've got the shield to my helmet open. And I've got that thing open to get some air to me. That's my air conditioning for the week. Hey, there's hay. Don't you turn. All right, good job. If you heard that little clunk, that was a bug hitting my helmet. Okay, slow down to 45. Wolfbane what? Productions. Broadway in Appomattox. So I would imagine that where we're going now, that I know that it has a Confederacy museum. They probably are going to take the whole Confederacy thing pretty serious. Okay, so this says Appomattox Court House straight ahead. Courthouse National Historic Park straight ahead. I'm just not sure exactly where the courthouse is, but we're going to find it. Old Courthouse Road. That threw me off a second. That's something that's really interesting, is that, you know, state to state things are so different, because a flashing yellow means you can go, but you have to yield. Okay, something tells me that that Old Courthouse Road is probably where we should have turned. I've got a feeling that that Old Courthouse Road back there may have been where we wanted to turn.
Yeah, it said 1 mile a while back.
All right, I'll get us turned around. Well, I don't have it laid out in a map anywhere, so gee, a lumber company, imagine that. Yes, I just did a U-turn, folks. Oh, hush, GPS. Okay. Those signs don't tell me much, so we're just going to go back this way. So now the GPS is going to tell me, up ahead, turn left and do a U-turn in the road. Turn right and then immediately turn slight right. That's why I don't do GPS voices. Alright, it is that way, to the right. Okay. I don't know how I missed it on the other way coming in. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to be a very, very tiny building, from what I've heard. I hope the signage is pretty good. Here we go. What's this? Okay, straight ahead. Oh, I'm making the GPS spaz out. It is so fun. Oh, 2 miles. Okay. Are you ready to meet Jesus? I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay, big sign. Oh, that's where Grant's headquarters was. Ulysses S. Grant. Man, how did this land never get developed? That's something that it's remained in place as it is all these years. Government must have stepped in and just claimed it as, you know, some kind of national monument kind of a thing. That's a cemetery. Signs could be bigger. North Carolina Monument. Okay. Confederate Cemetery. Entrance next left. Oh my goodness, it is little. It is multi-stories though. Okay, well, here we are. Only open till 5. Wow. Well, we don't plan on being here all that long anyway. Oh, this GPS is making me nuts. That's alright. We'll park up here somewhere and take a walk up. I don't think there's going to be anywhere. Ooh, here's some shade. Okay. Well, at least we're in the shade. Well, we're in the shade, so I don't know which of these buildings it is, but we're going to find out in a few minutes, and I'm going to take some still pictures.